Welcome everyone, this is your host Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. This is a fantasy role-playing game of high detail but very easy to play. You can imbue your weapons and gear with magically charged ink. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay-what-you-want tabletop RPG, where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Era Zone ZineQuest prototype tabletop RPGs project. This is a collection of zine format tabletop RPGs ready to play, but with minimal playtesting and minimal artwork. So it's a wild collection of ideas. You will find the Kickstarter in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flash, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find it in their website. The link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. Here's a promo to one of Red Room Publishing's games. A moment, please. Uh-huh. Definitely check it out. If you like feudal Japan, that's your setting, that's your game. This time, I am going to talk about a certain misconception that exists in tabletop role-playing games, and that is the notion that when you have a huge group of players, you won't be able to roleplay, or you won't be able to play at all. Some people think that you cannot actually play unless you have like a small group. As you have seen from my session, from my actual play of Quick and Classic using the Asteria setting, 5 players there. Some people think you need like 3, maximum 4. Oh no, 4 players is too much. Keep it to 3. The most important thing to consider about large groups, and I'm also going to give you some tips on potential problems that could arise when you have large groups. The most important thing is that you need mature people. You need mature and respectful people. I remember one time, like 2 years ago, one of my viewers, it didn't look like a subscriber. He looked more like someone that stayed for a moment to watch the part of the video, and he said, "No, but you need to ask, what do you do constantly, because it's a helpful tool so that the chaos doesn't happen in the session." And I told him, "It sounds like you're playing with teenagers. What sort of mature person?" And I'm not even mentioning adults. You could have like teenagers. Like imagine a teenage guy that wants to create his tabletop role playing game group with a bunch of other teenagers. As long as they are respectful and mature, they act according to their age, nothing will go wrong. It's when people start to act like kids, then the session goes down into flames. So I told him, "It sounds like you're playing with a bunch of teenagers. Get mature people." As you can see from my actual play, you will find the link in the description, and the link to the first session on screen as well, probably. No, I think in the description. Yeah, check out the description of this video. Everybody was waiting for the others to finish describing their actions, and they were not overextending at all. They were adding those details through the description, and they were describing their actions in both a pragmatic and thematic way. They are playing a role and they are playing a game. That is it. They were not interrupting each other. They were not. Oh, my character. My character. My character is going. No, no. My character. I do this. I'm trying. No, everybody constantly interrupting each other. No, no, no. So you need mature people to play a tabletop RPG with a large group. But let's talk about some potential problems that could arise even if you have mature players, because you have several people participating. It is quite common, let's say, compared to when you have 3 people participating. It's less common for them to interrupt each other. You only have 3 people. But if you have 5 people that are engaged, that are interacting with the game world, there could be some accidental moments where they speak over each other, when they interrupt each other. You can still roleplay. You saw this in that session. Everybody in that regard, they were absolutely perfect. It looks like you want to tell us something, my friend. In character. Sorry, I was interrupting you. What were you saying? Right? When it comes to in character dialogue. But what if there is a description, right? You're describing your attacks, your actions, and someone else is also describing, and you interrupt each other, you speak over each other. I wait for Joe to take his action first, especially when it comes to systems that have no initiative. Initiative divides the combat rounds per turns. So it's easier, when someone has the chance to act. Trevor now has the chance to act. Tom can act now, right? But when you have no initiative, it is common for sometimes to be for there to be some interruptions. I wait for John Doe to take his action. Or you could even handle it via dialogue quite quickly, like, Max, do you want to go now? And Max, yes, let me at him. I rush at the enemy and thrust with my laser sword, as simple as that. So simple, so easy, so smooth. No need to go out of character. Oh, are you going to say something? Oh, were you saying something? Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. No, 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 you go ahead. No, no, please, I insist. No. Handle it through roleplay. And if the players suddenly they go into that in character, such as, Max, take action before me. And Max says, no, no, Jim, no, no, you act first, Jim. But Max, I insist. Both characters miss their turn. It happens. It's the fiction. It happens in the roleplay, as if you were actually there. Now, there's another tip. I've only done this one time in my life, and I didn't have that, and I think it would have been great to have it at that time. What if you have 10 players, 8 or 10 players participating? That's when you need a color. Divide the group. Let's say you have 8 players. Divide the group in 4 players. Each one of that is four players in each subgroup. The 8 players become part of 2 subgroups. You have 4 over here, 4 over here, and each one has a color. So the color for group A, it receives the description of their actions from the other 3 players. The color from group B receives the description of their actions from the other 3 players. And of course, they're also going to be describing their actions. The colors approach the game master. I swing my mace at the red zombie's skull. Joe thrusts his knife at the necromancer just behind him. And you describe the actions of your subgroup, and then the game master factors that into the combat round. He receives the information from the other color in the similar way, exactly the same. And combat proceeds. Next round, the colors once again obtain the information of what the characters are attempting to do. Now, some game masters could find this a bit taxing for the memory. Perhaps they get confused when it comes to the actions. You could take some quick notes, Have like a little notebook, piece of scratch paper. Joe does this. Jim does that. Will does this. And then you can figure out what happens. You call for those roles. There could be automatic successes. So overall, I encourage you to play tabletop RPGs with large groups. As long as everybody is role playing, as long as everybody is respecting each other, as long as people are mature, as long as they actually want to role play in a tabletop role playing game session, it can be accomplished quite easily. There is no rush. Thank you for watching this video. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button. Like, subscribe, take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role-playing games, it's not about what you want your characters to do. It's about what your characters are doing. Once again, thank you and see you later.